Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're breaking down our comprehensive 2026 financial resilience playbook. Look, if you've been feeling the intense pressure of this year's economic landscape, you are absolutely not alone. But more importantly, you have options. We're going to walk through some highly actionable, data-backed strategies to completely transform your financial footing this year. Right out of the gate, I want you to ask yourself a very direct question. Is your 9 to 5 enough? Really think about it. Because here's the reality. In 2026, blind loyalty to one single income stream isn't just risky anymore. For a lot of folks, it's literally becoming a financial trap. We're seeing this massive, undeniable shift in how people view their primary jobs, and honestly, it is for very good reason. So to navigate all of this, we've developed a 3-pillar playbook: defending, optimizing, and expanding your wealth. Here is our agenda for today. 1. The 2026 financial squeeze. 2. Strategies for crushing debt. 3. Maximizing your HSA benefits. 4. High-paying side hustles. And finally, 5. Your action plan.
All right, starting with Part 1, the 2026 financial squeeze.
We need to quickly set the stage for why this playbook is so urgently necessary right now. The macroeconomic factors squeezing households in 2026 are severe. We're dealing with persistently high inflation, rising living costs driven by literally everything from energy to a severe housing supply shortage, and stagnant real wages that just simply can't keep pace. Even the traditional 2-income household is feeling the squeeze. Relying on a single income stream feels less like security and a whole lot more like a massive vulnerability. This isn't just a temporary little dip in the market, it's a structural cost of living crisis, and it requires us to build serious financial resilience.
Which brings us to Section 2, Strategies for Crushing Debt. This is Pillar 1, Defending Your Wealth.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is we are essentially pitting pure math against human behavior. You've got 2 primary strategies to get out of the hole. The debt avalanche focuses on paying off the highest interest rates first. Mathematically speaking, sure, this saves you the most money over time. But then you have the debt snowball, where you pay off your smallest balances first to get those quick wins, completely ignoring the interest rates. On paper, the avalanche makes all the sense in the world, but in reality, the snowball method is often wildly more successful.
So why on earth does the mathematically worse snowball method work so well? Well, it comes down to this core concept right here: mental accounting. As humans, we have this funny psychological tendency to treat money differently based on our subjective feelings, rather than cold, hard financial reality. The debt snowball leverages this beautifully. By knocking out those small debts quickly, you trigger a massive dopamine hit. You categorize that as a huge win in your mental accounting, and that builds the psychological momentum you absolutely need to tackle the bigger mountains of debt later on. It literally uses our own psychology to keep us on track.
All right, moving to Section 3, maximizing your HSA benefits. Once we've defended our wealth, we have to optimize it.
This brings us to one of the most misunderstood financial tools out there today, the Health Savings Account, or HSA. Most people treat the HSA like a glorified medical checking account, and honestly, that is a huge mistake. We need to completely reframe the HSA as a stealth wealth vehicle. Why? Because it offers a very rare triple tax advantage. Check this out. Your contributions are tax deductible, reducing your taxable income right now. The growth of those funds when you invest them is tax deferred. And when you make qualified withdrawals, they are completely tax-free. If you manage this strategically, it transforms from a basic spending account into a massive long-term wealth-building machine.
The IRS actually just dropped the adjusted limits for 2026, and seeing these numbers should genuinely get you excited, because maximizing them, that means keeping way more of your own hard-earned money. To put that into perspective, for 2026, you can stash away up to $4,400 if you have self-only coverage and a massive $8,750 for family coverage under a high-deductible health plan. And hey, if you're 55 or older, you can tack on another $1,000 catch-up contribution. Maxing these out, especially before you even think about funding a standard taxable brokerage account, can drastically improve your post-tax outcomes over the long term. The key is investing these funds instead of just draining them on immediate copays.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how to turn the HSA into a retirement powerhouse. It's called the delayed reimbursement strategy. Here's how it works. Step 1. If you have the cash flow, pay your current medical bills out of pocket. Step 2. Keep airtight, organized digital copies of those receipts. Step 3. Invest your HSA funds and let them compound and grow tax-deferred for years. And Step 4. Because there's literally no time limit on when you can reimburse yourself for past medical expenses, you can claim those tax-free reimbursements decades later in retirement. You are effectively building a giant tax-free bucket of money for your future self.
Now for Pillar 3, expanding your wealth. Section 4, high-paying side hustles.
We are officially moving way past the basic gig economy here and entering the era of the professional hustle economy. A lot of people hear side hustle and immediately picture driving for a rideshare app or delivering cold takeout, but the options today are incredibly diverse and highly lucrative. Based on a deep dive into 60 of the best high-paying side hustles for 2026, we can break them down into these core categories. Whether you have professional B2B skills, creative talents, a knack for e-commerce, or you just want to get your hands dirty with local services, there is a very realistic path to serious extra income for you.
Let's look at how this builds into something incredibly lucrative, specifically within the professional B2B services category. Right now, there is a massive shift happening inside B2B and SaaS companies. They are trying to scale their revenue through partner ecosystems instead of hiring huge, expensive internal sales teams. But here's the catch. They desperately need experts to run the software that manages these partners, specifically Partner Relationship Management, or PRM software. If you know how to configure deal registration rules or manage marketing development funds inside a PRM platform, you can pull in $6,000 to $7,500 a month just consulting part-time. These are highly skilled, high-paying fractional roles that most people don't even know exist.
So the crucial point is that high earnings aren't just limited to the tech world. Just look at this number, $25,000. That is the earning potential for a single season of a hyper-local physical service. We're talking about things like Christmas light installation. In affluent neighborhoods, tasks like luxury mobile car detailing, junk hauling, or seasonal light installation have transitioned into highly sought-after do-it-for-me luxury services. If you are willing to put in the physical work and you know how to market yourself well locally, the returns can completely alter your financial trajectory in a matter of months. No coding required.
We've covered the squeeze, we defended with debt strategies, we optimized with the HSA, and we expanded with high-paying hustles. Now for the final piece. Section 5, your action plan.
I want to leave you with this quote straight from our source material because it perfectly frames the exact mindset you need for 2026. The single greatest asset you have is your own ambition. You no longer have to be a passive participant in a difficult economy. You know, it is so easy to look at inflation and housing costs and just feel completely defeated. But this playbook proves that you have agency. You can reframe all of this economic anxiety into a massive opportunity to build multiple income streams on your own terms. The reality is, the tools and strategies for financial resilience are sitting right in front of you. The only gap between feeling squeezed by the economy and feeling totally empowered by it is simply taking action. So, take a hard look at your skills, look at your schedule, and ask yourself this one final question. Which hustle will you start today? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will see you in the next one.